Welcome to another episode of Games Tasker. I am joined with Brendan.
Oh, mate, so glad to be here on this one. I love this console. This is the one.
And join me, Robbo.
This is probably the pinnacle of what we're going to do now. This is an important episode. Let's make it count.
Yeah, and this episode is something we've always discussed on the podcast. We've always talked about this console. To me, this is the greatest console in history, and it will never be beaten, and there's so many good games on it. And so today, we're going to talk about the amazing PlayStation 2. And what a console, classed as retro, and there's so many good games out there that are just, there's just too many to do a top five. So I've told the lads to do top five. We're going to do top 10s just because why not? Because there's just too many good games out there. So we're going to start with the PlayStation 2. Brendan, do you like the PlayStation 2?
I think it's shit. No. Come on. We're talking about a generation-defining moment in console history for me. You know, it blew everyone away. I mean, we've all sat here before in previous episodes talking about the Master System, the NES, the Super Nintendo, the Mega Drive. They're all great in their own right, but the PS2, you know, just the games that released with it, GTA 3, stuff like that. Just amazing console. Love it, mate. I can't tell you how much I love it. It's my favourite, I think, of all time.
Robbo?
This was what probably changed me from a casual gamer to a full-time absolute It pulled me in off the streets. It pulled me from the park. Suddenly weekends I would sit at home playing the PlayStation rather than going out playing football. Before this console, people used to use the PS1 for if it were a rainy day. N64, if it were cold or the mates want out, you'd sit at home playing your consoles. This, for me, was suddenly, no, I'm not going out this weekend, I'm staying home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean,
yeah, 100%, mate.
I mean, I used to date a girl and I couldn't afford a PlayStation 2, and I didn't like her at all, but I only carried on dating her so I could play her PlayStation 2. And I put up with a lot of shit, but I got to play my PlayStation 2, well, her PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've got a lot of history with this console. It's released some of the best classics, which you play now, and they are still out this world. I can't, it's hard to talk about the console because it is that good. And while we're at it as well, I want to top 5 sports games if you guys can think about that as well, because we've got a lot of. I'm just looking. I've got a list, and the list is so difficult. I've spent all week going through games that I absolutely loved on the PlayStation 2, and it's crazy. So I mean, we'll start off. Shall we start off with the worst games? Let's start off with a negative and then do a positive. Worst.
There aren't that many bad games, but when it came to bad games on the PlayStation, it were always the same thing. It was like a movie mate game or a cartoon game. That's all it was.
I know where you're going.
Oh, let's let it happen then. Let's let it happen.
Go on.
Where do you start with it?
Okay, I'll start with the worst.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, worst ever Bruce Lee game ever made.
That was shit.
They made him look like he was absolutely not this superior martial artist he was. Bad Boys was made, terrible game.
So
Charlie's Angels, my sister had that. That was terrible.
So I want to know the games that you've owned that were shit. So my top 5 worst games, here they are. Number 5, and I was seriously fucked off with this. Fight Club.
Yeah.
What an absolute letdown of a game. I was a massive Fight Club fan. I love
movie-based game.
Oh, I love it. I seriously love Fight Club, but it was the game was so bad.
It could have been amazing.
Oh, they could have made it so well, and it was just terrible. I mean, I loved. I mean, even the animations where they broke their arms was brilliant. It was. I played it to death, and I pushed it, and I pushed because I really wanted to like the game. And no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get into it. I mean, it was just so bad. I mean, Bob and his bitch tits, like when his tits used to bounce around on it. It was shit, but I was gutted because I spent a lot of money on it as well. Number 4 was called Fugitive War and Terror, I think, or Bounty Hunter, Fugitive Bounty Hunter. It was something like that. And it was around the times when Bin Laden was like blowing shit up, and he was like the bad guy, and it was so patriotic American. And I spent 30 quid on the game, and it pissed me right off. Why I bought it, I don't know.
I'm with you.
I don't know why. Number 3, The Sopranos. Massive
terrible.
Sopranos fan, and obviously The Sopranos didn't end by the time the game was out, so I was still into The Sopranos. But the game was absolutely fucking horrible. I hated it. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship, number 2, Fellowship of the Ring. Which is weird because I
didn't think that were a bad game.
It wasn't the game that I wanted. That was it basically. It just wasn't the game that I wanted. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. I'll go into the other games that were released for Lord of the Rings, but it just wasn't good. Yeah, absolutely gutted. And Kingdom Hearts was one of
Really?
Hey, yeah. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute.
My number 1 worst game on the PlayStation was Kingdom Hearts.
Wow.
Wow, I'm against that.
I was gutted. It wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be. Again, at the times, it was Final Fantasy X, I believe. So you got to remember, I came from 7, 8, 9, and then
I get it.
And then Kingdom Hearts came out around the same time as 10. So you expected Kingdom Hearts to be the same as 7, 8, and 9. I compared them to that. So when Kingdom Hearts came out, I thought Disney, Final Fantasy, it was magical, it was brilliant, and I played it and I just couldn't get on with it. I just couldn't, and I was so angry.
I got it.
Yeah, I was gutted, absolutely gutted. And it's not the fact that it was the worst game; it was the biggest letdown of probably
I get it.
one of the best games that looked fantastic, and it had so much potential. But it's massive. But to me, it was a massive letdown. Massive.
Yeah, I get it.
So yeah, what about you, Brendo?
Yeah, top 5 worst games, mate. Number 5, 25 to Life. It was a total rip-off of like your Grand Theft Auto series. It was just shit. Yeah, doing bank robberies.
I was going to say, isn't that like really shit, like crap San Andreas?
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
That.
It is fucking crap. I think you do bank jobs and you're fighting other gangs and stuff. It's just shit. Just total. I hate swear. I always say it on this podcast. I hate swearing on it, but some of these games force me to swear. Number 4, Beverly Hills Cop, just absolute ramble.
That was they had so much potential as well. It didn't even look like Eddie Murphy.
It's always games that are based on decent movies are terrible.
He didn't even look like Eddie Murphy at all. He looked like a crap shack.
Yeah. The best thing about it was I only rented it from Blockbuster, so I never bought Beverly Hills Cop. So
I never bought it.
It was shit. Number 3, Liam mentioned it. The biggest letdown, and it's one of my most favourite films of all time. Fight Club.
Yeah, it was so bad.
They could have just made that so good as well, and it could have still been going on today. And if the franchise was good,
mate, they had so much they had online features where you could fight people. You could create your own fighter and join fight clubs. It had everything. It should have been the best game ever.
It was just terrible.
Fucking worst.
Number 2 was Transformers. Absolute bag of shit.
I never played it.
Again, I don't like swearing on podcasts, but these games force me to swear. Just crap play, look terrible. I didn't see the point of the game. It's like you walk up to a building and the building just falls down, even if it's like a massive like museum or something. I know Transformers are hard, but they're not going to knock down a massive building. Do you know what I mean? Come on. Number
Optimus
1.
Prime.
Yeah.
One swine, mate.
Just a bad game. I don't. No, I'm not even going to say don't recommend it. I wish I never mentioned it. And number 1, The Incredible Hulk, the biggest pile of.
I
Have you seen the pattern though here, guys?
No, but
Yeah, Robbo's kind
No,
of
but
hitting the nail on the
when you
head
think-
with it.
when you think about it, right, Transformers, Hasbro, that created Transformers, a multi-billion-pound company, and that game, like Liam said about Fight Club, that should have been one of the best games of all time with the money that's behind it.
The problem you've got is they're trying to get it out to go alongside the film, so these games get rushed so fast.
And the same with Incredible Hulk. They've got all that Marvel, all that Marvel money behind them. And these games, I mean, it's only Spider-Man, I believe, that saved Marvel games, and that's a different episode. But
wasn't on this console either.
Spider-Man was good on PS2.
Nah, I don't think it was.
It was all right. It was all right.
Want something to sing and dance about, were it?
No, but it was all right. It's better than Incredible Hulk, but yeah, terrible, mate. So yeah, 25 to Life, Beverly Hills Cop, Fight Club, Transformers, and the Incredible Hulk. Shite.
Robbo, what's yours?
Coming in at a strong number 5 is Catwoman. Terrible. Us guys only bought it to look at Halle Berry, but she didn't even look like Halle Berry. So
it wasn't that bad. I didn't think it was.
It was terrible.
Bad. The scenes of it and all, like I don't.
The fighting engine was just terrible on it.
Yeah.
And then comes to a series of games that should have stayed as a classic game. They should never try to bring it onto this console. Frogger's Great Quest.
Shit.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Frogger
Number
wasn't
3.
No, yeah, it was shit.
Number 3, Bad Boys.
I never played it.
A really shit GTA. And I mean a really shit GTA.
The film was shit.
Next
though.
one. Hey?
The film was shit though.
Behave.
It's terrible.
Chinny chinny bang bang. Go away.
Oh, it's terrible.
Next one was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, another game that you thought it could be a lot of decent to it, and it was just terrible.
Never played it.
And the one for me, and it was at a time where there were a lot of decent, same style games, and you'll get exactly what I say straight away. This were a franchise that do like to try and copy something big at the time, and sometimes they hit the nail on the head, sometimes it's terrible, with Simpsons skateboarding.
It wasn't that bad.
Oh, behave. Went along the lines of Tony Hawk's Pro Skate. Come on.
The Simpsons did have a lot. The only Simpsons game that did really well for me was Hit and Run.
Hit and Run.
Good. Yeah, that was good.
That was a good game. That was on Cube.
Oh, class. No, it was on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah,
I
brilliant.
think I played it on Cube.
Yeah, brilliant game. That's the only Simpsons spin-off that was good, I think. Wrestling was shit.
It was good. It was very good.
Was...
Wrestling was terrible.
But Simpsons Skateboarding was literally another game that I wanted to play and like on purpose because it had like some good music in it, and I was just like, I really want to, but yeah, it just didn't. So yeah, the worst games but there isn't many, which is good on the PlayStation.
But every bad game seemed to be a movie franchise or a TV series. I mean, one of my friends had Sopranos. That was meant to be terrible.
Sopranos was it was just shit. It was shit.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, but we've got through the negative parts, which is the main thing what we're trying to do. I mean, okay, let's just go to the one. So the joypad. Let's just mention the joypad. What did you
Comfortable, think? Amazing. When it had the dual shock, first one to have the dual shock system, you felt you were immersing the games a bit more. Yeah. It was the start of what was now the best pad, which is the PS5 pad.
Yeah. With the analogs,
everything's where it should be. When you're playing a game, the buttons are where you need them to be.
Yeah, it was perfect. I mean, when you played the PlayStation 2 for quite a while, then you jumped on an Xbox pad, you was like, what am I holding?
Yeah, Jans were doing this on Xbox.
Yeah, you're like holding a salad bowl with some joysticks on it, weren't you? And then like you got the PlayStation, it just fit. It was, to me, it was the perfect pad. And it's still the perfect. Yeah, it's still the perfect pad. So yeah, I mean, Bren.
Yeah, I agree, mate. PlayStation 1 introduced us to that kind of style, didn't it? But with the PS2, I think did the PS1 come with left and right triggers on top? Can't remember now.
Yeah. L2, L1 and L2.
L1, L2, R1, R2.
The PS2 was just, we've mentioned it 50 times, if not more. It paved the way for controllers today. I think it's the best, easiest to fit in. It just, the best. I can't give more adulation to a console than the PS2. I really can't. It's just perfect.
Agreed.
It is. So we're going to go into the top 5 multiplayer games list. Are you guys ready to get your list? So Brendan, it's you, Rob. Are you going to start with this one? Top 5 multiplayer games.
I'm gonna
Number 5.
Oh,
Tony Hawk's Underground.
yeah. Was that multiplayer?
Yeah, you can play with your mates. Of course you are. It's 2-player.
I remember. We've been 2 player. Oh, yeah, it's split screen,
Oh,
wasn't it?
Tony Hawk's a split screen.
Yeah, split screen. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
This was when I was quite big on Madden. I played Madden NFL 2004. Thought it was an amazing game.
Great game. Great game.
Very hard, but good. This is when I mentioned the last one. I was talking to Brendan about it, and he mentioned again. I thought this would be unevolved form of it. SSX 3.
Yeah.
break. I don't mind.
Yeah, it's a great game.
And then there were Virtual Fighter 4.
You're reading off a list. There's no way
I'm not reading
Virtual
off a
Fighter
list.
fucking 4 is on there as a top multiplayer game. It was shit.
I'm not. It's a good game. and then my favourite game, and I used to play it with my dad, was Mike Tyson's boxing.
Mike Tyson was good. That was a great little game. But the Virtual Fighter was terrible.
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
No, it wasn't.
What a horrible, horrible game.
It wasn't an horrible game at all.
You had Tekken. You had games like Tekken, Soul Calibur 3.
Yeah, but I played Tekken on other call. My Tekken days were PS1. I said it. I played Tekken 3. It was the best game ever.
Well,
I didn't play any Tekken on PS2 at all.
That's my number 5 is Tekken 4. It wasn't Tekken 3, but it was all right. Played it with my brother a bit. Pro Evolution Soccer, I think it was 2002.
Oh, how did I miss Pro Evo?
Even though I'm a massive FIFA fan, I just thought that I'm sure I could be 2003 but Pro Evo Soccer was good on the PS2, playing that with my bro. I played Burnout 3 Takedown a lot with my missus, would you believe?
Ooh, Burnout, good game.
We loved a bit of Burnout. Star Wars Battlefront 2 was good. Multiplayer.
Yeah, that was a great game. Really, really good.
Yeah, it was one of the better Star Wars games, to be honest.
It was fantastic when that came out.
Yeah, and then the last one, mate, was GTA, not GTA, Gran Turismo 3.
But I said that was a multiplayer game.
On the split screen. That was it's in my top 10 as well of PS2 games. Gran Turismo 3 just looked, I'm a massive Gran Turismo fan anyway, but when you jump from the PS1 to the PS2 graphics and then they bring out GT3 A-Spec, which looked amazing. And you could play split screen, but if I'm being completely utterly honest, mate, I didn't play a lot of multiplayer with other people on PS2. No. I kept it all to myself.
That'll say on my personal list. Makes more sense. You'll see.
Yeah, and mine.
So, I mean, my top multiplayer ones, quite easy. Quite normal. I don't know why you've not even mentioned this, though, you dickhead. SmackDown.
Because I played it on PS1.
WF SmackDown. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. It's PlayStation 2.
It was SmackDown 2 on PlayStation 2. It wasn't SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown.
Yeah,
WF SmackDown.
That's in my top. This is in my top 5 sports games. I don't know where you go. I don't know where you're going with it. Honestly, no.
So Quake 3. Fantastic little game.
Never played any Quakes.
Really, they were top notch. They were absolute top notch. Just can't beat them. What's my other list? Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I've got a million lists open. Tekken 5.
5.
5, yeah.
4.
Tekken 5.
4.
4 were better than 5.
I think they were just better every time they came out.
No, because then it got. We're number 5 where it got silly, where you could be the panda and then the kangaroo, and then there were Armored King, and they were just evolving characters by that point.
Yeah, but it was Tekken 5 was good. I think
you could be that stupid kangaroo with boxing gloves on that just decimated everything.
He was wicked. He was so good. Tekken 5, so Soul Calibur 3.
Good game.
Yeah, can't be. To be honest, it was the last Soul Calibur that was good. The rest have been shit after, I think.
1, 2, and 3 were best.
Yeah, I think after anything after Soul Calibur 3 is just not good.
Let's just remember that Soul Blade created the Soul Calibur series.
Oh, Soul Blade. Yeah. Soul
Yes,
Blade.
yeah.
So, but there's two. Like, I'm struggling. So there was two that I want to mention. So Tekken Tag.
Tekken Tag Tournament.
Yeah. How good was Tekken Tag? I absolutely loved it. But then I wanted
Tag teaming.
but I wanted to put this one in as well, which was Splinter Cell. Remember Splinter Cell was two
forgot
player.
about Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell was
Didn't know it
two
was.
player. Yeah, it's two
I
player.
played it as a single player.
It was the first time you had a stealth game where you could sneak around and you could use your night vision and you could like, Robbo, you go into the vent now, post, like hit that thing, you'll pull the guard and I'll walk behind the guard, bosh! And you're like,
Didn't know
fucking brilliant, Splinter Cell. Amazing.
A fun fact for the podcast.
Yeah.
My missus used to kick my arse every time on Tekken Tag Tournament.
Mate, Tekken
I thought I was a good console player, and my missus just said, "Oh, what's this? Oh, it's Tekken. Oh, let us have a go." She's kicked my arse every time.
Oh, Tekken
Fuck
Tag.
off,
Mate, Tekken Tag was
button bashing.
Oh
Get
yeah,
lost.
mate! You sit there doing an Eddie combo, then so like you press X and circle,
Eddie was
and then you're tagging
overpowered.
Hwang, who's just X and circle, and you're just like, you're just like, yeah, it's fucking stupid. But Tekken Tag was good. I mean, you have
Yeah, I liked it.
what was it? Hayachi, my favorite Hayachi and Yoshimitsu. Put those two together,
Yoshimitsu were just annoying.
mate. All you have to do
Is
is
that stupid spin thing?
that's sacrificing yourself to kill someone in one shot. Can you remember that? You turn around and you stab yourself, and if you clip someone with that blade, they die. You're like, yeah, if you can pull that off. So you used to try and do that, then kick the fucking heads in with Hayachi after.
Nice.
It's good. So we'll go to sports games. Top PlayStation. This is the fun part. I love it. Top 5. I'll start with the sports games. Oh, Bren, you can start then. You can start. Go on.
Yeah, because everybody keeps saying my games. I'm like, I'm not cheating. I'll just fly through it, mate. I owned all these games and played them all to death. That's why they're in my top 5 sports games. Number 5, Fight Night Round 3.
Great game.
Just I've owned all the Fight Nights. I love boxing games. Love them. Number 4, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2004.
Great game.
Awesome game.
Hours. I spent hours and hours on that golfing game. I loved it.
Best golfing
Number
game in
3.
history, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. It spawned a great series, didn't it? Really?
Yeah.
And I think the first ever Tiger Woods was 2003.
Okay.
Or 2004 was awesome. Number 3, SSX Tricky.
Oh,
Nice.
which one? Tricky. Which one was
Tricky.
that? 2?
It was just first one, SSX Tricky.
SSX Tricky was the only decent one. I don't think any of the others were good.
Oh, I don't know. I think number 3 were pretty good.
I only picked it up.
I was asking which one it was.
Yeah.
I only picked it up from 1080 snowboarding. I used to play that on the 64.
Yeah.
'Cause I never would be into snowboarding otherwise, but because I was decent at that, I bought SSX Tricky and that was good.
There was one on the PlayStation 1, the snowboarding one, and then that's what spun me off onto getting SSX Tricky. But honestly, I've not played a snowboarding game since.
I haven't. I agree.
No,
I haven't.
No.
Number 2 was SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. Best wrestling game ever, in my opinion.
Great game.
Wanker.
And number 1 was Tony Hawk's Underground. Even though you two probably say it's shit, I loved it.
It was good. It
I
wasn't
loved
the best
Underground.
one. It wasn't the best
I loved
one.
Underground.
We'll get into Tony
Well,
Hawk's.
it was
but
my
what-
favourite.
Yeah.
It was my favourite Tony Hawk's on the PS2, to be honest.
Underground was my worst out of the Tony Hawk series. But
Which, sorry to,
Really?
I'm going to delve into brains.
Yeah.
Which was the Tony Hawk's with the airport?
4?
Was that on PS2 or
I think that's PS2, yeah.
that might have been my favourite Tony Hawk's?
I remember it because you go down there, you're going down like a tunnel. There's like tunnels and you go
And
down.
You're doing
You mean
the
the
things
hanger?
up.
You mean the hanger?
No, Hangar's number 1.
Yeah.
It's an airport. You're in an
Yeah,
airport.
I know which one you mean because I remember it's like you go through like the machines that are building them. I can't remember.
Yeah, and they got the baggage reclaim. You're going around the baggage.
Yeah.
reclaim.
I think that's Underground. Yeah, I think you are right on it being Underground. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That one.
I remember seeing the suitcases and you glide and the suitcases go flying.
Yeah, I
Oh,
loved it.
I remember what you mean now.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I remember.
Well, that's my top 5 sports. Yeah,
My
happy days.
sports are quite easy. I mean, I'm a big American football fan. So Madden NFL 2003, number 5.
Awesome.
Love the Madden games, and weirdly, this Madden Madden NFL 2003 is the best Madden, I think, as well. That's what I mean. It's weird. The PlayStation did them. Yeah, it's really weird because it was just perfect. Like there was no extra bits, and there's none of this online shit anymore. It was like the last one before the rest started getting silly. SSX Tricky's on there, Brent. So one for you. Tiger Woods 24. 2004's on there. So the two games that aren't is NASCAR Thunderstorm. Then the NASCAR game was wicked. I think it was NASCAR Thunder.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
We're round a track like this.
It was good. It was. I was a big fan of Days of Thunder, so like to play a game like NASCAR was really, really cool. And it was like it was that like Days of Thunder. It was based like they had like the cars from Days of Thunder in it and stuff like that. So it was quite cool. And my number one was NBA Street.
Oh, mate!
NBA Street was wicked. And it's the only basketball game I ever played, apart from NBA Jam.
2-on-2s were brilliant.
Yeah. It was really, we spent hours playing it. Like, because it wasn't like, because you had NBA Jam, and then after, like NBA Jam, you had like, this was the only game, but the rest were just normal, the EA basketball games. There was nothing, and this was like really cool. Like FIFA Street nearly hit it on there as well. FIFA Street was so good.
You just reminded me of FIFA Street.
Yeah, the FIFA Street and the NBA Streets were really, really good. NBA Street only just beat it, but FIFA Street was fantastic as well. Another game on the PlayStation that was good. Robert, what are yours?
NHL 2003. I loved hockey games back then.
Me.
If you're on a game, you could have a good fight. You drop your gloves and scrap it out. Awesome. Madden 2003, he's just mentioned it. Amazing
it's
game.
The best,
it's the only time I played.
It's the best.
It's the only time I played American sports games with PlayStation 2. I've never played them since. Tiger Woods PJ4. Good call, Bren. Very good. I'm going to go slightly different to Liam. I did NBA Street 2.
Ooh.
I think it was better than Street. And number one, Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown 2.
Amazing game.
Yeah. I still remember the cover.
Yes, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
It was Brock Lesnar. It was. Again, for me, these games were the pioneers. I mean, there was nothing better after Tiger Woods 2004. There was nothing better after NFL 2003, which shows you why the PlayStation 2 was so dominant. Because after all these games, it went to PlayStation 3, so it all went online and it all went like shit. Right. It just went all weird.
Like you'll probably agree with me, Liam, on this one, because I used to really, really enjoy playing wrestling games because I thought they were easy to play on the PS2. As soon as they started bringing, you need to press that button, this button, that button to do the finisher, I just lost all interest. All I want to do, I want to kick the shit out of someone and then press R1 to Stone Cold Stunner him. That's it.
That's all I want to do. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's all you want to do.
I don't want to have to press 6 buttons to do the stunner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what made SmackDown's brilliant.
Amazing,
they
mate.
were brilliant games.
WWE versus SmackDown versus Raw. They were all good.
They were awesome, yeah.
Amazing. So we're going to do. So we're on a final list now. This is the top games of. Before we go into our top games, so have another think, guys. If you've heard games and you want to change it, we're going to do the top 10 grossing games on the PlayStation 2. Ooh. Are you ready? Ooh. So number 10.
Go for it.
Go on. You guys tell me what you think is the number one.
Oh, mate, I'm going to have to go with. I'm going with San Andreas. It's got to be GTA San Andreas, mate.
Robbo?
Resi 4.
Resi 4, not bad. I'm going to go with Final Fantasy 10 because I've not checked this list out yet. So I'm going to go with Final Fantasy 10.
Should be in the top
there.
10.
Easy. So number 10, Kingdom Hearts.
I enjoyed them games. They had 1 and 2 on PS2, didn't they? Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
Yeah. Again, it just disappointed me. Really, really disappointing. But again, a lot of people shoot me down for it. Final Fantasy X-2, number 9. And I agree with that. Even though I hated it, I had to buy it and I had to play it.
10-2 were good. 10-2 were good.
It was good, but you did because 10 ended really bad. No, it didn't end bad, but it was not the ending we wanted. So we had to play 10-2 to get the final ending, and it was quite
to get what you wanted.
I was pissed off at that. I just wanted to play you play all those hours to play Final Fantasy to get a good ending and like the epic ending of 9 and 7 and 8, and then you don't get it, and you've got to buy another fucking game, and that was again. After that, all games started doing that, didn't they? Like, you got to buy the DLC, you got to do it, and it takes a year for the next, like, the proper ending. Ridiculous. Tekken 5, number 8. Yeah, and totally agreed. Number 7, Metal Gear Solid 2.
Which one?
Sons of Liberty. 2. Yeah, it was a good game.
Nice.
Good game, really good. Grand Theft Auto 3, number 6.
Amazing.
So here we go. Final Fantasy 10, number 5. So yeah, agreed. Great game. Number 4, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Gran Turismo 4 is number 3. How many
Gran
copies?
Turismo
11.76 million copies.
Never got into them.
No, I never, ever. Gran Turismo 3, number 2. Yeah, with 14.89 million copies. And the biggest grossing game on the PlayStation with 17 million point 33 copies is San Andreas Grand Theft Auto.
Deserves it.
What a game.
Deserves it.
What a...
Everyone remembers how that game starts when you've got to get on your bike and you've got to get back to the hood. You've got to give it a lot on your bike. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Everybody listens to this podcast. For Liam to say that a GTA game is really good is hard because he doesn't like the series.
I don't. I mean, Vice City I loved, and that was it. But the older I get, I tell you what, the older I get, and the more I've been on the podcast, the more I'm appreciating San Andreas. How, like when you go in, you've got your little cul-de-sac, and you your police, you ride in with your police, the police fuck off because they don't come down your cul-de-sac. I was like, that's cool. It's like Boys in the Hood, isn't it? And I was like, I love Boys in the Hood. And I was like, actually, and I didn't really give San Andreas the time that it deserved, if I'm honest. And I loved Vice City. Vice City was...
I just loved going to barbers and you go in with a skinhead and you walk out with an afro. It was amazing.
I just loved it how you rode around your bike, like the streets. You had this massive gangster, but you're on your BMX with your mates. Yeah. So this is the top 10 rated. So this is Metacritic. So Metacritic, if people don't know, it is all the magazines and all the scores that magazines have done. They collate them and put them together, and then they say this is the top games. The top 10 Metacritics. This is voted through reviews, like awards and everything. Number 10, Devil May Cry. Never played one.
Awesome game.
I've never played
I didn't like it.
What?
I didn't like it.
Never played
Mate,
one.
it's one of the best games franchises. It's up there. You've got to play it.
Really?
It's in my top 10.
I mean, there's 6 of them now, aren't there? 7 of them. So they've got to be good.
They're good, mate.
So yeah, Devil May Cry. Number 9, Tony Hawk's 4 with 94%.
Not the best one, but yeah, it's up there.
Oh, look at that. Madden 2003. Number 95. Yeah, number 8. Yeah. That was, I don't know what it was with that Madden, but it was good. I don't know what it was. Just
everyone loved it.
It was perfect. Like I can't explain. It was perfect. There was no, like, it's in most Madden games. There's always something you don't like in the games, but with that one, I never did like dislike anything. Gran Turismo 3 at number 7.
Yeah,
that's 5. So this is all joint 95. So Grand Theft Auto Vice City number 6. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas number 5.
Jesus,
what?
Yeah. And then Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty number 4. So what do you guys think the top 3 games are? Voted, like not voted. These are like magazines and.
It's kind of spun me out because you've
Resident
mentioned...
Evil 4, God of War, and Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
Oh, great games. They're all in my top 10, I think.
It's kind of... You've spun me out because I would have said GTA 5, GTA San Andreas and GTA 4. I'll go with God of War, that Robert just mentioned, might be up there, and Resi 4, maybe, because I don't know where you're going with it now that you've mentioned.
No.
You know what I mean? So...
Res 4 is number 3.
Ooh, 1 of 3?
Yeah, wicked game. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto 3.
No.
Better than San Andreas?
No, it's definitely not.
No.
Not better than Vice City either.
GTA 3 was amazing because it changed the landscape of the game because it was that first person view rather than that bird's eye.
When it went from above to first person.
It was amazing. Yeah, third person, sorry. It was amazing. But don't get me wrong, it looked great, but it's nowhere near on the scale of Vice City and San Andreas.
I didn't like it. I didn't.
Yeah, but you must admit from the GTA 1 and GTA 2, the bird's eye view.
I didn't like them either.
Get off this podcast. You're sacked.
I didn't. Yeah, I really didn't like the GTAs.
If you would like to join me and Bren on this podcast.
Yeah, 1, 2, or 3. I liked San Andreas and Vice City, and that's it. I don't like any of the others.
This is throwing me out now because I can't understand
Number
how that
1
would be so high on the Meta score.
Tony Hawk's 3.
No.
Tony Hawk's 3 is the number 1. Highest from magazines, from awards.
It's in my list, but it's not number 1 game on PlayStation 2.
I think it's because it was the first one online, and it was 4-player online. And
Reckon?
There wasn't many games online.
But who used to play the PS2 online? No one could afford to.
No one did.
Yeah, because you used to have to buy that adapter to go in the back of the console, didn't
Yeah, then you had to plug it into your modem. Then we had dial up at the time as well. Remember?
you? Yeah.
Get off that phone! I'm trying to play games.
Yeah, so yeah, they're the Metacritics. So I'm going to go into my top 10 first because I like it.
Why not?
So I'm going to do
Because
it.
you can.
Because I can.
Because you can, mate.
Because I can. Number 10,
Because you fucking
Prince
can.
of Persia: The Sands of Time.
Awesome game.
Oh god, I've completed all the Prince of Persia games. And the last one was crap, but I still completed it anyway, just because I've completed them all. Final Fantasy X, number 9. So,
That low in your list?
That low, yeah, mate. It is. You're talking like this is the PlayStation 2. There's so many good games on it.
Go on. Then.
Number 8, Silent Hill 2.
Yep.
Just a
All
great
day,
game.
every day.
Number 7, Metal Gear Solid 2. Sons of Liberty.
Yeah,
Great game.
yeah.
Well, Snake Eater, I didn't know which one was better, but you know. Shadow of the Colossus, number 5. What a game. Still fantastic. Number 4 is GTA Vice City.
Great game.
Yeah, I loved it. Number 3, Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Number 2, Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. And number 1, God of War. I'm just going to say the whole series because every God of War is fantastic. I've completed every God of War, even the PlayStation
Correct.
5 versions.
I'm so looking forward to new Egypt ones.
Yeah, I've just completed every single one, and I've enjoyed every single one. I can never say a bad word about any God of Wars. And on the PlayStation 2, they were out of this world. I've never ever in my life played a game, and you sit there and you go, I tell you what, you're going to fight a colossus, and you sit there and you're this one little bloke and you rip a dragon's head off, then you stab it into the ground and you put your other chain in, pull the other one down and you stab it, and you're just ripping a dragon to pieces, and you're just like,
yeah, man,
me, what a game.
Amazing.
I seen the trailer for that. Was there a little trailer or screenshots of it or something released the other day?
Oh yeah, there's the new one. It's coming out now. They've got this.
Yeah.
It's in Egypt. It's completely gone away from the Norse thing.
Yeah.
They've done the Norse now. They've gone to the Egyptian gods
Egyptian
now.
gods, yeah. But it's
It's good how they've done that. How they've
clever.
transitioned it through
From Greek to Egyptian. So yeah.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, come on then, Robbo or Brent, who wants to go first?
I'll go.
First. Well, ahead, Robert. Go ahead.
10. I'm surprised you chose it, but I chose it too. Shadow of the Colossus. Amazing game.
Wicked game. Really good. Still got it.
Number 9, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
Great game. Life game changer. First time I think it was the first time you used reverse technology as well.
That's it. The first time you could turn back time.
Yeah.
Number 8, Twisted Metal Black.
Wow.
Awesome game. Hadn't even been mentioned.
Great game.
Number 4, I mentioned it on the last one. I got it confused which version I had. I love both games, but Silent Hill 2.
Yep.
Number 5, I'm on 6.
6.
Pro Skate 3.
Yeah. You're number 6, I think.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Yeah, number 5, Devil May Cry.
Ooh.
Oh no, I might have to
You
play
need, you
one.
need to play it.
I think
Devil May Cry's up
I might
there.
download
Very
it.
good
I'll
game.
download it. I'm not paying for it.
Mate, it'll change your Devil's May Cry. You'll play them all. I can guarantee it.
I never heard a guy from Doncaster say Devil May Cry. I'd say
Devil May Cry.
I can't do it. Say Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry.
You sound Irish, not
Devil May
Donny.
Cry.
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry.
Ah, you play that game, Devil May Cry.
At number 4, Final Fantasy X. It's got to be there for me.
Yeah.
My favourite
Stunning.
games. Not as good as 7.
No.
Just saying.
Or
It's
8.
there.
Or 9.
Or 8. Or 9.
But it's good.
Next franchise are free. I keep saying it, but it doesn't seem to be coming up where I'd have liked it. Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Probably the best Resident Evil ever made.
Yeah.
By far.
It was the best, yeah. It was the best.
Oh, coming in at 2, Metal Gear Solid: Sons of Liberty.
Ooh.
Do
Interesting.
you think would you think it were better?
I don't know.
Then Solid
Snake Eater.
Snake
It wasn't
Eater,
better than 1. No, by a long shot. But Snake Eater. So everyone complained because it was Raiden, didn't they? So everyone was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't like Raiden. We want Snake." So they got Snake Eater, and Snake Eater was just the same as 1. So Snake Eater and Sons of Liberty. You don't know. I don't know. They were both good. They were so fantastic.
Very good games.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it, and it's my number 1 because it started a big thing for PlayStation. It's probably their best franchise, God of War.
Yeah. I agree. Your list's pretty much the same as mine, except without the Lord of the Rings stuff. Yeah.
Go for it,
Great
Go
list.
for it, Ren.
Good list.
The floor is yours, brother.
Number 10, mentioned by both of you, Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
Was always going to be there. Wasn't as good as Silent Hill 1, I don't think.
No.
Great.
Still worthy of a top 10 spot. Again, mentioned by both of you, number 9, Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Just an all-round top game. Number 8, Gran Turismo 3, A-Spec. Loved it. I'm a big Gran Turismo fan, so it was going to be in there. Number 7 was Hitman, Blood Money.
Ooh.
Game.
Just love
Weirdly,
love Hitman.
it's the only Hitman game that I played and enjoyed. I don't like any of the others.
Yeah, Blood
Okay.
Money was good.
Yeah.
Number 6 was Burnout 3, Takedown.
Never played it.
Burnout were good.
Loved it.
Never played it.
Number 5 was Bully or Cannon Edit.
Oh, Bully!
Brilliant game.
Yeah.
Absolutely love going around with your slingshot or catapult, whatever you want to call it. Bosh.
Yeah.
Love that. Number 4, GTA Vice City.
Yeah.
I'm a big Grand Theft Auto fan. I've played them all.
Vice
so.
City was great.
Get out.
Vice City was
Get
great.
out.
Number 3 was Need for Speed Underground.
Never played that either.
Loved it. You could mod your exhaust, your wheels, everything on that game. They kind of moved away from that kind of stuff, Need for Speed, but I loved Underground. Brilliant game. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Spent hours on it. And number 1 is also the answer to my game that I want remade to today's graphics is none other than the best game of all time, The Warriors.
I was going to put the Warriors on there because that was good. It was really good. And the Warriors was multiplayer.
Brilliant.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was going to put it on my multiplayer list. I was like, there's too many good ones. But yeah, good lists. I mean, there's only a couple of honourable mentions that I want to mention out there. Was Lord of the Rings Conquest. I don't know if anyone played that, but it was like Star Wars Battlefront, but it was Lord of the Rings. So when you died, you could just play the two towers, and it was just great. It was just is everything I wanted in a Lord of the Rings game. Even though I've got the two towers and Return of the King on my top list, and then I've got the Fellowship on the worst games, it was still a game that didn't make any of my list, but it deserved to be up there. Snake Eater never made it on there. Metal Gear Solid, but a game that was fantastic, but should have been mentioned, but it didn't get mentioned on any of the others. Twisted Metal Black was already mentioned by Robbo, and then what was my other one? Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank needs mentioned, definitely.
They were never mentioned.
I've got
any list, and it's one of the greatest games out there.
I had 3, but I think Liam mentioned one of them.
Yeah.
My honourables was Shadow of the Colossus, but Liam got it in his top 10.
Great game.
And I did.
Yeah.
Did you? Sorry, Robert.
Yeah.
My second one was Eco.
Oh, number 1. Yeah, the first one.
It was just them 2 games visually were probably the best looking games on the PS2.
Ico 3 is really good as well.
And then my last one for honourables was Def Jam Fight for New York.
Oh, shit! That would have made my top 10. Fucking missed it off. What a game!
Def Jam, wow.
I played that to death. I've still got it now. I played it the other day. I streamed it. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great game.
I'm going to put one honourable mention in because no one's mentioned it, and it probably changed the way people game. And they still do it to this day. You can go to arcades and play this. You can do this on any console. But this was the console where Guitar Hero was released.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be a rock star. That were your chance.
I was just shit at it. That's all. It wasn't the fact that it was bad. I was just so bad at it. But I can't concentrate that long. I remember seeing people like all my mates because they had like the Beatles Guitar Hero, and then you had like the drum kit, the bassist, and the guitarist, and then someone sang. You like, mate, that's sick. And then all my mates used to play it like nights out and stuff. Yeah.
And
but then you had Beatles.
microphones.
It was just too much for me.
one last mention then, and this will be it. I'm not going to mention anymore because go on forever. We forgot 2. Shit. Time Splitters.
Great little game.
And Jack and Daxter.
Clever. Yeah, Jack and Daxter. Yeah. Time Splitters though. Was that the one where it was like a first person shooter? And then
first person shooter going through time trying to change events.
So you'd go back in like
and the
medieval
multiplayer
times.
Was amazing.
Yeah, and you went back like you'd go for a port and you were shooting people in knight armor, and then you jump out and then you go in. Oh yeah. Great game.
Amazing.
Forgot about that as well.
You could play as a robot with a fish bowl on its head, and it was called Robo Fish. It was amazing.
I did that. The main character on it was Juldo. He was wicked. Juldo was fucking awesome. Anyway, so on that note, what did you guys learn about the? But I mean, you didn't need to learn anything about the PlayStation 2. I mean, to me, the PlayStation 2 was a defining console. Yeah, it was a perfect console, wasn't it?
We can't argue. We're all going to say it's perfect. We're all going to say it's the best console we've ever owned, and it is.
It is. It is.
I mean, I think all of us, well, us three, and anybody out there, you've probably both owned a NES and a Master System at your time, and never. Then you probably went and owned a Super Nintendo and a Mega Drive. Then you went and had a PS1 and N64. But I didn't need to buy any of the console after the PS2. I've bought the PS3 after. I bought the PS4 after that. I bought the PS5 after that. Right. I've never. I think the only reason why I bought an Xbox 360 back in the day was because Liam was on Xbox 360 and he wanted me to play Call of Duty with him.
Yeah.
So I went out and bought an Xbox 360 just for that game. You know, I've never.
That was the only reason I had a 360 with Gears of War, and that was it.
It was Fable for me. I was always Xbox until I got a PS2, and then I just stuck with the PlayStation 2.
I've got a little true story for this episode for you guys. This is 100% true. Liam will know because he'll know that the shop isn't there anymore. But my brother had the original Xbox, and I lived in England at the time. I moved back to England, and he was still in Ireland and used to make my weekly phone call. He was like raging about this Xbox he's got. Oh, it's amazing. It's the best console of all time. You should do this, you should do that. So I thought, you know what? I went down to a shop called Forbidden Planet in Derby. Do you remember, Liam?
I remember Forbidden Planet, yeah.
And I took my PlayStation 2 and I had 2 controllers, and I think I might have had GTA San Andreas, about 4 or 5 games. Went down to Forbidden Planet. Right, I want to trade this in for an Xbox. He said, right, we could do that. You'll get a Midnight Club and a couple of other games if you give us an extra 40 quid as well. Yeah, no worries. I've heard this is the best console of all time. So I took the bus back to where I lived. Within 2 hours, I took the Xbox back and got my PS2 back.
What did you say to him?
I said, this is bollocks. I said, I want my console and my games back. And I had to pay another £20.
Did you?
Yeah, I can't remember the game I got. It had 2 Mini Coopers on the front.
Oh, I know what you mean. It was the Italian job, wasn't it?
Italian job.
I don't think it was Italian club. It was like mini, something I can't remember. But I got that, Turok, a WWE Raw, and something else. And literally, I plugged it in, set it all up, played Turok for half an hour. That was shit. Played WD. I'd never seen such worse graphics in all my life.
Yeah, shit.
And I took it. I went back on the bus 2 hours later and got my PS2 back. True story.
I only play Fables. If you play the Fable games, great games. But that's it.
Fable is a good.
Halo was good. Halo was good. Soul Calibur was good.
Never played it.
Yeah, Halo.
Soul Calibur you can play on.
Never played. You never played Fable. Right, Fable. Right, okay. We've got to end this episode, but we're only 45 minutes in. But Fable, because it's a PlayStation 2 episode, but we do need to mention it. Fable. So basically, if you get hit, you get scarred. So your guy ends up with covered in fucking scars, which is quite clever. But Fable was like a guy, and you slowly become like a king of a kingdom, and you slowly, like, the more, if you kill things, like good things, people start to hate you, and the more, like, so you become a good guy or a bad guy, you like, the more bad guy you get, the more horns you get. So like everything you do in the game reflects on your character. Yeah, it's fucking great game.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're really, really good, and I'm excited about the new one. But yeah, I mean, after that, I think we all agree the PlayStation was the greatest console. I hope you guys have really enjoyed the episode as much as we've enjoyed researching, and not really had to really research. Most of it was quite easy and straightforward, and we managed to. I mean, I just did the multiplayer games, sports ones, just off the top of my head. That's how good the PlayStation 2 is. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you in the next one. We're not going to tell you what the next one is because we don't know. Bye.